Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Prasco Park for one of the most highly anticipated matchups of the entire year. All sports aside, Mason Moeller baseball, 1 versus 2 in the state, and what a matchup this is going to be. A lot of playoff implications on the line here, but most importantly, just going to be a beautiful night for baseball. My name is Adam Little, joined alongside my brother Andrew Little. And Andrew, what are you excited for in this matchup?
Yeah, this is the hottest ticket in town, and it's great because it's free at Prasco Park, a great venue, and a lot of energy here against the two top teams in the state. We got the reigning state champion Moeller Crusaders, the Comets. They've got high hopes for their season as well. Should be a great one.
It's going to be Jake Hanley on the mound for the Comets tonight, the Indiana baseball commit, and he can put some zip on the baseball. So it should be a fun matchup. So we're getting things going early. Off to a 1-1 count. It's Will McCullough up to bat for the Crusaders as he takes the third pitch inside for ball 2. Will McCullough, Davidson commit as Hanley delivers and gets him swinging for strike 2.
And Hanley off to a great start this year, both on the mound and at the plate.
2-2 count delivered, and he gets him on the curveball. And Andrew, when Jake Hanley gets that curveball moving, things are going to be scary for this Moeller Crusaders team. Known for his speed, has a max velocity of around 96, 97, which is just unheard of in high school baseball. But if he can get that curveball going, then, man, it's going to be unstoppable.
Yep, sets you up with the tempo, and then boom, the off speed. It's hard to hit.
Charlie Valencic up to the plate now for the Crusaders, the second baseman.
And with Hanley's last strikeout, moves him up to 34 on the season, 5th in the conference.
The delivery on the 0-1 count. No strike called. It's very similar to the pitch he got on the strikeout last at bat. Valencic watches that one low and outside. Again, Hanley moving at a very fast pace as that one hit to the shortstop. Suluk fields it and cleanly gets it to first as the Comets retire their second batter of the inning.
But Suluk gets it to Nate Derrick, who Jake Hanley, typically the starter at first base, here on the mound. Derrick, the senior, stepping in. Gets a clean play off there. And now Matt Ponatoski, Prep Baseball Ohio's #1 prospect in the class of 2026, steps up to the plate.
Yeah, not only is he a star baseball prospect, but also the quarterback for the Moeller Crusaders as a sophomore. Was originally committed to Mizzou for baseball. Andrew and I are Tiger fans, so, but uncommitted or decommitted now.
And a ball, the first pitch of the at-bat.
Hanley with the fastball down the middle.
Yeah, and Adam talked about it. Hanley, mid-90s with his velocity.
1-1 count. Ponatoski rips that one into center, and it will drop for a single. Brad Hart was moving but couldn't get there in time.
But Ponatoski, I mean, that's what we talked about. One of the best players in the entire state. He's hitting over 400 on the season, has 18 RBIs, and keeps this inning alive for the Crusaders.
Carter Christensen, the shortstop, now up to bat. Hanley checks out his runner on first. That pitch outside and goes through the mitt of Rutherford. As that's an easy extra base there for the Crusaders.
Yep, stolen base #6 on the season for Ponatoski, and didn't really have to run that hard.
Yeah, in a game like this, that's unexcusable for the Comets. You can't give up easy runs like that.
Yep,
or easy base runners like that, excuse me.
But now Hanley and Rutherford going to meet. Your 1-0 count with two strikes. Got a man in scoring position. Clean up batter at the plate. Hanley got to settle his nerves down, close out the half inning.
One 0 count. That pitch low. Ponatoski dancing around at short. He's got some speed around the bases. And Christensen gets a piece of that one.
Christensen leading the conference in batting average, home runs, RBI, and ERA as well. The Ohio State commit, 622 OBP on base percentage. We've seen him be patient in this at bat.
Yeah, 2 Ohio State commits on the field right now. That's Hanley. The 2-1 pitch. That one gets past again. Rutherford's having a hard time finding it. Ponatoski rounds third, but will stay there.
Rutherford late to react there. Ponatoski gets the stop sign at third. But now, after a great first 2 batters for Hanley, he's in some trouble with one of the best hitters in Southwest Ohio up to the plate. Again, a friendly 3-1 count.
Still 2 outs for the Comets, so that'll be a 3-1 count for Christensen. Again, this velocity, even Rutherford, we often question the batter and how they have to adjust to the velocity of Hanley, but Rutherford has to do it as well. 3-1 count. That one popped into center field. Hart gets underneath it and retires. Carter Christensen, as that will end the top of the first inning. Comets hold the Crusaders scoreless as the bench is going to take a lap around the field, and we will head to a quick break. 0-0 the score here on this beautiful Saturday night at Prasco Park. Bottom of the first, as it'll be Alex Kelly leading things off for the Comets tonight. Like we mentioned earlier, 2 Ohio State baseball commits on the field tonight, and he is one of them. As Klosterman's first pitch is in the dirt.
Kelly. Last at the plate for Moeller was Christensen, going to Ohio State. Kelly as well as future teammate.
That pitch inside for Klosterman. And this?
Evan Klosterman, his first appearance all season long, the number 3 recruit in Ohio, headed to Notre Dame.
Delivers on his third pitch. Gets that one in the zone.
And Moeller's been patient and ramping Klosterman back into the season, but now making his debut in a very important moment.
That pitch inside. 3-1 count for number 3.
And Kelly this year just done a great job getting on base, 415.
That one on the ground and almost acted as a bunt there as Kellen's able to safely get to first. Ponatoski tried to get it one-handed, but couldn't grab a hold of it.
Yep, and Kelly has speed on the base paths, and Ponatoski had to keep that in mind, tries to make the quick play with one hand, isn't able to get the throw off.
Yeah, that one ended up just being in perfect position as it was a slide past Klosterman, and that'll bring Jake Hanley up to the plate for Mason with one runner on. That one gets past the catcher. Kelling is able to get to first, way over the shortstop's head, but Kelling will stay at second.
Yep, and that could have been a disaster for the Crusaders. Luckily for them, their center fielder, McCullough, was in great position, held it, forced Kelling to stop and not go for the third base.
Yeah, I'm surprised we saw Griffin Booth throw that one there. Kelling had almost made it to second by the time the ball was released.
A risky play.
1-0 count for Hanley. That pitch low as well, and
yeah, another one inside and low. And you have to imagine Klosterman, again, first appearance of the season, getting back into the swing of things, and you're going against Kelling and Hanley, two of the best batters in the region. It's a tough way to start.
yeah, and it couldn't be on a bigger stage in front of over 3,000 people here at Prasco Park. That was the estimated attendance heading into tonight's game, and Andrew, we might have even topped that.
Yeah, there's definitely some overflow here. Back-to-back weekends, the Comets having a big game at Prasco Park.
2-0 count as Hanley drives that one into left field. Kelling stays at third. And smart base running there by Kelling. And Andrew, I was on the call last week with Isaac Vargo, and Coach Bly was very aggressive with his base runners. Last week, we probably would have seen Kelling headed home, but
Yeah.
with the stakes in this game, I like seeing Kelling stay
and
at
part
third.
of it's definitely the stakes here against Moeller. You have no outs. You want to keep it that way. But also, Jovan Love in left field has a big arm, made a great throw out against Elder in Moeller's most recent game at the plate. So you have to keep that in mind. Some great arms in the outfield for the Crusaders.
Drew Stevens, he's been hot for this Comets team lately, moving his way up all the way up to third in the lineup. So he watches ball one.
Stevens, Ashland commit, having a breakout year so far, and he's towards the top of the conference in a lot of statistics. Hits, he's 7th, leads the GMC in doubles with 7.
And we saw him hit a triple last Saturday against Kings right here at Prasco Park. 1-0 count. Klosterman gets it in there with a changeup.
And Klosterman, doesn't have quite the velocity of Hanley, but he's still touching 90, but a deadly slider.
Catches Stevens swinging there. Be a 1-2 count for the Ashland commit.
Yep, zipped that ball in, and Stevens was swinging for extra bases right there. Couldn't time it.
And he catches Stevens on the slider for the first out of the bottom of the first.
Yep,
So runners in the corner.
with Klosterman, that's what you're going to see a lot of. Fastball, slider. That's his favorite setup pitch. Got Stevens on with the second strike with the fastball, then there with the off speed. Now brings up Rutherford. And that, getting the first out of his season's got to be a great thing to get off his back. We'll see Klosterman get into a roll with the heart of the Comets lineup.
Klosterman will check on Hanley at first base.
Yep, and Hanley, you think of him more as a power guy, not a speed guy, but he's a threat on the bases, 6 stolen bases so far this year.
Yeah, he's got those long strides. First pitch for Rutherford, right down the middle.
Thought about it, Rutherford wanting to test out Klosterman's pitch speed, but I think he liked that pitch. Might regret not taking a swing, even though it was the first of the at-bat.
Yeah, that's a high pitch you're looking for here with runners on the corners with one out. Rutherford hoping to put this ball in the air. 0-1 count as Hanley's moving, and he'll glide his way into second.
Yep, and that time Booth doesn't even bother throwing. Hanley had a great lead off. The throw was a little bit low. And after the errant throw last time, I think he's got to be a little nervous now. Men at second and third, so 2 runners in scoring position, just 1 out. Rutherford with a great spot.
1-1 count for Rutherford. As Klosterman delivers. Booth's able to keep it in front of him.
And an outside strike called. Rutherford thought that one was going to go his way. Now we got a 2-2 count.
Again, Klosterman really working that slider. 2-2 count now as he delivers. Rutherford thought about it. Was able to stay strong as that one hit the dirt.
Yep, low and inside, checks the swing. That ball came down hard. And a full count.
Full count for Rutherford, 1 out. So he's going to try to put this ball in play. And he'll make his way towards first for ball 4 as it's high.
And Casey Donor will step up to the plate in great position. Bases loaded, and Klosterman in his first appearance of the season in a sticky situation.
Big moment for Donor as well. Bases loaded in the first inning against the defending state champs. It's Klosterman waiting for the sign. It's that one low, and Kelling will slide his way into first as it took an awkward bounce off of Booth's chest protector, and the Comets are the first on the board. And that's going to be a huge momentum boost for this dugout.
Yep, and Klosterman in a tough spot. That's his second wild pitch that's advanced to runner. And everybody moves there. You get the run. The Comets have a lot of energy after this play, and just 1 out, 2 men in scoring position once again.
Donor gets a piece of that and fouls it into the away bleachers. And a very deep backstop, Andrew, so these wild pitches are going to be something to watch all game long.
Yeah, very dangerous, especially with a lot of these speedy base runners. The Comets have to like what they have at the top of the lineup with Kelly and Stevens.
Donor puts that one on the ground. He'll bring Hanley in for an RBI, so 2-0 Comet lead now with 2 outs. And no harm done there. These Comets are going to be happy to add on another run to their total.
Right there, a double play ball if there's a man at first, but Comets in a good position with guys at second and third. Drives in the easy run. Donor will take that RBI.
2 outs for Anthony Sulik. He'll watch strike 1. Sulik's made a lot of strides in his hitting game heading into this season. That one hit into right field. And the Crusaders are able to take care of Sulik for the 3rd out. And that'll do it for the first inning here at Prasco Park. The Comets take a 2-0 lead over the Moeller Crusaders. Top of the second. Crusaders back into the box. That'll be number 34, Connor Kuzo, number 8 ranked prospect in the class of 2026 to step up to the plate.
Yep, another big hitting threat. He's got 4 home runs, GCL leader, hitting .464 on the year, 18 RBIs. That's tied for the team lead.
Hanley's first pitch is high. Beautiful off speed there from Hanley. That drops in for strike one.
And Hanley threw 5 balls in that first inning, so kept it within the strike zone for the most part.
That ball hit straight up to the third baseman, Stevens, trying to follow it in the sun, and he's able to get underneath it.
Up in third base line right now, covered in sunlight, a tough spot, but Stevens brings it in.
Yeah, in this Comet infield, they can really play all over the place. Stevens primarily came in as a shortstop and second baseman, but he's been playing third for the Comets this year. As Forrest Day watches strike one.
Day headed to Center College next year. Now Hanley gets ahead, 0-2 in the count.
He winds up and delivers that pitch high.
And Hanley, we talk about he can push the velocity up into the mid to high 90s. You know, unmatched by almost anyone in the state. But as we creep into that 95, 96 area, the control starts to go down right there. Had a lot of velocity on that high ball.
The 1-2 pitch and drops in for strike 3. And we said this in the first inning, Andrew. When Jake Hanley gets that curveball going, that's when he's pitching his best. And that change in velocity, it just toys with the hitter's head.
Yeah, and you know, coming off of one where he was in the 90s, the pitch before, and then right there, doesn't have enough time to react. It's the second strikeout looking we see.
And he gets Luke Papano with the change in speed there, and you saw a grin on Papano's face like, whew, this is going to be a tough one.
Papano thought he had a ball he liked.
Hanley shakes off his first 4 pitches. And drops in another curveball for strike 2.
And right there, Papano, I understand the vision there, letting that one hit the corner, but Hanley places it perfectly. And now at a really difficult spot, 0-2 with 2 outs.
Fires that one. And Papano late and will foul down the third base line.
Yep, 0-2, forced to swing at anything near the zone. And like you said, Papano, a late reaction to that high kind of inside pitch, not what he wanted, but sends it foul.
0-2 count. Hanley on the inside corner doesn't get the call.
Ben Rutherford tried to sell the frame there, but umpire gives it a ball on a close call. Still great spot, 1-2 count.
That one hit to Hanley, and Hanley will toss it to Derek. And a quick second inning for the Comets as Hanley gets 3 straight batters. And Comets bats will head back to center, to home plate. Try to add some more insurance to this 2-0 Comet lead. And leading off the inning for the Comets will be junior Hutch Crociata, making one of his first starts of the year in left field. And this is a player the Comet program has been excited for. One of the few juniors touching the field this year.
You have the junior appeared in 2 games this year, 6 at-bats, 2 hits, an RBI, and a run.
And he likes to bunt. And that one gets past Klosterman. And Crociata will safely make it to first. And he's hyped up, getting his first hit here at Prasco Park.
Yeah, there was going to be a close play at first base, but then Klosterman misses it with his glove.
Now Drew Johnson, the other junior in the Comets lineup tonight, stepping in to hit. Team's designated hitter tonight, and he shows bunt to start as well. Ponatoski moving in and playing very shallow at third base. Coach Bly loves to play squeeze baseball and try and toy with the Crusaders a bit. That ball gets by, but Crociata will stay at first. Took a friendly Moeller bounce.
A very friendly bounce. Bounced right off of the dugout in the net into the glove of the first baseman. Could have been an easy bag for Crociata.
1-0 count for Johnson. And Crociata will make it to second on the passed ball.
Klosterman and Booth, the catcher, have struggled to connect today. And we mentioned it in the first inning. Klosterman, the Notre Dame signee, the number 3 player in Ohio in the class of 2024, but it's his first start of the season. He's had some shaky moments.
And the umpires will come together for a little bit of confusion. Johnson held out bunt. I believe it hit the plate, and so bounced on the rubber and above the catcher's head. There's some confusion with the count, it looks like, as coach of the Crusaders was thinking there was 2 strikes on the board now. So a 1-1 count for Johnson. Crociata made his way to second, and Klosterman will keep him humble at second.
Crociata, after picking up the bunt single, Klosterman has to worry about him moving at second.
Crociata heading to third. And a pass ball again as Crociata motoring to home plate, and he will get to the rubber as the Comets 3 runs already, no outs here in the bottom of the second. And it seems like all the momentum is in the Comets' favor right now.
Yep, and it's been self-inflicted wounds from the Crusaders. Passed balls and throws off the mark from their catcher. And a play right there. The pass ball should have had a man at third. You missed the throw, and now it's an easy run.
That pitch inside from Klosterman. Make it 3-1 for Johnson, so he'll be waiting for his perfect pitch. Puts that one in the air behind the left fielder, and it will drop right by the Chick-fil-A sign. Johnson, a stand-up double as the Comet dugout is hyped about that one all the way to the warning track.
And Johnson, that one inside, loved the positioning, rips it into left field. It's 320 out there, got pretty close to the Chick-fil-A sign, and a stand-up double like you said.
Coach Tim Held will make his way to the mound, and we'll have a quick chat with Klosterman. Not the start the Crusaders were hoping for here at Prasco Park.
Yeah, and the energy levels in the two dugouts, very different. Moeller entering this game, reigning state champs, #1 in the state, #6 in the nation on Max Prep's poll. You know, they're riding high. They have a lot to live up to. And the Comets, you know, this is one of the rare times where they come in as an underdog, and I think they've embraced that mentality, and they've had a phenomenal start. But Klosterman, he's your ace. You got to hit one of your aces. That's what we'll talk about that later, I'm sure, with the amazing pitching staff the Crusaders have. But gonna stick with him for now. Let him work out.
So Johnson on second for the Comets, no outs. Center fielder Hart step into the box for Mason. Klosterman delivers on the first pitch. Hart shows bunt. Klosterman will field it and retire Hart at first, but that'll move Johnson over to third with just one out. And Andrew, one of the biggest question marks heading into tonight's matchup is, will the LSU commit Zion Theopolis be on the mound for Moeller? But he pitched late this week in the last matchup for the Crusaders. So we were a little shocked to see that, as we thought the ace for Moeller and the ace for the Comets were going to be facing off. But then again, when your #2 man is a Notre Dame commit, that makes things a little bit easier for Coach Held.
Yep, and earlier this week had 2 games against Elder. We were surprised. Theopolis, who went all 7 innings on Monday against Elder, had a shutout. You know, maybe save him for the Mason game, but Adam, like you said, they have multiple aces.
That pitch outside. Comets back up to the top of the lineup. It'll be Kelling at the plate.
And then the other star pitcher for this Moeller team is David Hagan, who's headed to West Virginia next year.
Klosterman's off speed just low for ball 2. Kelling hits that one in the gap, fielded by the left fielder, and an unbelievable throw as he gets Johnson at home. And we talked about the arm that Love has, and showing it off there as he gets the final out of the second inning. Javon Love, an unbelievable play from left field.
Yeah, and we talked about it last inning when the Comets elected to keep a runner at third base. Love, his arm is a threat everywhere. Against Elder on Thursday, he made a play exactly like that from left field at the plate to end an inning. And right there does it again. The Crusaders snatch the momentum.
Javon Love, who just made that absolute laser of a throw from left field, will step up to the plate for Moeller. And again, we see Jake Hanley's curveball proving to be his #1 pitch tonight.
Yep, Love also a receiver for the Crusaders football team, 2-sport star.
That pitch high for ball 1. 1-1 count for Love as Hanley catches him on the changeup. One-two count now. Hanley moving with efficiency, as Rutherford couldn't get the frame there.
And another off speed there as that ball works outside the plate.
2-2 count as it gets past Rutherford.
Yep, Hanley in the dirt off the mark there. Now going to meet with Rutherford quickly.
Yeah, and we've seen the deep backstop being an issue for both teams tonight. Multiple pass balls from both pitchers. And not sure if this Prasco dirt's just extra bouncy or what the case is, but it'll be a 3-2 count for Love as he tips it.
Yep, stays alive, was a little behind on that swing.
Hanley delivers. And a very patient at-bat from Love as he'll trot towards first base. And that'll bring up the #9 hitter and catcher.
But Hanley opened up that at-bat. He was up 1-2, then struggled to pitch accurately. So now here, bottom of the lineup, look to get going again. Booth, and we were talking about how there's been some issues at the backstop. He's had to deal with the dirt.
Booth shows bunt. Quick reaction from Rutherford as he keeps Love at first. He'll be somebody to keep an eye on as he's got some serious speed on the base paths. You mentioned earlier, a star receiver for the football team. Strike one for Hanley.
Booth flashed bunt, and Hanley puts it in the zone where he can't hit it.
Hanley checks back at first base.
Love, not much of a leadoff there, but Hanley makes the safe play, sends it over to first. Keep him close, keep Love close to the bag.
Inside strike called on Booth.
Yep, a late drop on that pitch. Crusader fans wanted a ball, but just hits the top of the zone.
Booth chokes up on the bat. Love is moving, and Rutherford drops it. And not sure the throw would have been there anyways, as Love got a big jump off the pitch.
Yeah, Love had a great jump there on the 1-2 count, but still a frustrating miss from Rutherford as he went out to make the throw and just dropped it. No more damage done, but had a chance for it.
Not only a few passed balls tonight, but a plethora of uncharacteristic drops from Rutherford. That pitch fouled back. Is Booth staying alive in this 6th pitch at bat?
That pitch well inside and got ripped over the net.
Two. Booth drives that one into right center. As Hart will field it as Booth makes his way to second. Love comes in for the first Crusader run. No outs on the board for Moeller as they're starting to get their bats moving here in the 3rd.
And Booth perfectly found the gap in left center. Javon Love, easy run in to get the first run of the day for the Crusaders. And now Hanley, who Had 2 strikes on both Love and Booth so far in this inning. Has given up a run. Now is a man in scoring position with no outs in the 3rd inning.
It'll be the center fielder, McCullough, up to bat now for the Crusaders. Hanley gets him on the inside fastball. Again, for those of you just now joining us, packed house here at Prasco Park for the #1 versus #2 matchup in the state of Ohio. Comets currently up 3-1 on the Crusaders as Rutherford able to field the chopped ball there.
Yep, just dribbled out the fastball. Rutherford makes the quick throw to first. Booth will hold at second.
1 out on the board for the Comets. It'll be Charlie Valentic up for the 2nd time tonight. As he watches strike 1. Grounded out to shortstop his last at bat. Comet fans frustrated with no call there as Hanley was working on the outside corner.
1-1 count for the Radford commit.
Seems like we can't stop saying the word commit tonight from both teams. Valencic rips that one to third. Stevens will throw it to first for out #2. Did a good job of keeping an eye on Booth at second.
Yep, Stevens toyed with Booth for a little bit there, but able to schedule out enough time, get the throw to Derek, and safely get McCullough out at first. Derek had to stretch a little bit, but made the play happen. And now 2 outs for the Comets.
Ponatoski back up to bat for the Crusaders, had the first hit of theirs.
Yep, ended on third base. Was the only runner left in scoring position in the 1st inning.
He's got a man in scoring position now. Hanley delivers. That pitch high and outside.
And Ponatoski, GCL leader in RBIs. Prime 2-out situation here.
Beautiful curveball there from Jake Hanley.
And Ponatoski didn't even look like he was thinking about swinging right there. Decent leadoff from Booth at second. Sulik's in position.
1-1 count. Hanley tries to drop another one in, but that one went a little bit too low.
And Ponatoski happy to take what Jake Hanley gives him. Now ahead in the count.
Hanley checks back at second. We've seen a lot of very disciplined at-bats by the Crusaders tonight. We saw Javon Love crawl back from a 1-2 deficit with a walk to start this inning.
Yeah, Booth was 2-2 before he hit that double.
2-1 count now as Ponatoski rips it. Foul down the first baseline.
Yep, and Adam mentioned it earlier, Ponatoski, also the quarterback for the Crusaders. Once again, had a great run in the postseason. A two-sword star. It'd be interesting to see what decisions he makes in the coming years.
Two-two count. That pitch just outside as Hanley will make it full.
And a tough take for Ponatoski, but ends up being the right decision there outside. But never want to end an inning with a strikeout looking.
Full count, 2 outs, runner in scoring position. Ponatoski rips it to right field. as Booth will head home. And Derek will hold on to the ball. And another Crusader will come home and cut the Comet lead to just 1 run.
Yep, and Hanley was doing a nice job digging out of the hole that he started this inning. Got McCullough and Valenzik out, but Ponatoski patient and with the full count rips it into the seam between right field and first base. And now we have just a 1-run game.
Hanley checks back at first. Carter Christensen up to the plate. Had a fly ball to center, his first at bat. Another attempt.
But Hanley, intensity on his face, very worried about the man at first base. He's checked back there several times.
Strike 1 called as Ponatoski continues to dance around over at first base. Hanley just worried about getting the final batter here. Strike 2 called on the curveball there.
In the low outside corner, he's been liking that against the right-handed pitcher, the right-handed batters today. And Christensen having a hard time eyeing that side of the plate.
Oh-2 count as Hanley delivers just outside.
Yep, and went right back to the outside mid-low zone and misses on those 0-2 counts. Have to be sure to hit the zone if you want the called strike.
One-two count now. Rutherford back to first. And Ponatoski gets back about a half second, with about a half second to spare.
Yeah, heads up play from Rutherford. It was a close call. Ponatoski, I don't think he was expecting the throw back to first, but able to get down.
Hanley checks on him again.
Just 4 pitches through this at bat, but it's been a long one. A battle at the plate and at first base.
2-2 count. As Christensen just late on that one.
That off speed came in. Christensen liked the pitch, but too late. Hits it foul.
Does a good job extending his arms just to poke it and stay.
Keeps it alive.
Yeah, stay alive in the count.
But a little earlier on there, potentially an extra base hit.
Hanley steps. Ponatoski headed to second. A little bit of hesitation from Rutherford, and Ponatoski able to make it to second.
Yeah, and that's all it is that millisecond hesitation from Rutherford allows Ponatoski, who didn't have the biggest jump, to get to second on the stolen base.
Runner in scoring position now for the Crusaders. Full count with 2 outs. And Hanley not going to get the call. And he was headed to the dugout. Looked good to me, but that'll put another runner on for the Crusaders.
Yep, and again, it was that low outside corner that he's been hitting all game long. From our angle up in the box, looked like a strike and a dramatic late call from the ump, but escapes the full count once again. Hanley's pitch count really getting up there now in this 3rd inning. Had a quick 2nd inning, but Moeller's been eating into Jake Hanley now.
Hanley tries to get that one inside. Doesn't get a call.
First baseman Cuozo up to the plate.
That one high and inside.
And Hanley flustered, and this is not the guy you want up to the plate if you're flustered. 18 RBIs, 4 home runs. He can launch the ball.
Hanley's pitched low, so 3-0 for the GCL leader in RBIs.
Yep, Cuozo also a linebacker for the Crusaders. And that power extends to his game both as a tackler and at the plate.
Hanley fires that one in for strike one.
And certainly a scary pitch to throw against Cuozo, who has the ability to hit anywhere, but just finds the zone like he needs to. Hanley back in this at-bat.
3-1 count as Cuozo fouls that one back near the ice cream truck. Always all kinds of festivities happening here at Prasco Park. Chick-fil-A night, a pizza truck, all the free ice cream Comet fans can get.
Might have to get me some ice cream soon.
Yeah. Full count now for Hanley. Runners move, and he gets Cuozo on the curveball, and the curveball has been Jake Hanley's diamond pitch tonight. As the Comets able to escape the bottom of the third with a 1-run lead. We'll be back with you for the rest of the coverage here on Mason Sports Radio.
Slider moves.
Bottom of the third. Has a pitching change already for the Crusaders. Ty Heflin on the mound for the Crusaders. And Jake Hanley rips that one into right field as it hits the wall. He's headed to second. Coach Ply going to send him to third. And Hanley, the stand-up triple to start off the third inning for the Comets, and that is what they needed.
And what a way to send a message. Hanley, after a rough half inning on the mound, steps out. First pitch against a new pitcher. It's a curveball and swings it towards the fences. Hit that one about 370, 375. I thought it had a chance to get out. And a stand-up triple. How often do we say that?
Yeah, in most ballparks, Andrew, that ball is gone. And that is a statement to a new pitcher. Take the first pitch 370 to the wall.
Yep, Tyler Heflin, the Youngstown State commit. Welcome to the game.
Mark Rutherford now up to bat for the Comets. That pitch inside. Drew Stevens.
Stevens struck out in his first at bat.
He'll watch ball 2 in the dirt.
But Heflin, main pitch is fastball, slider, curveball. The curveball is what we saw Hanley rake out to right field.
Passed ball. Hanley will stay at third. Smart decision there from the senior.
And that fastball misses the mark by a good margin.
Strike 1 called.
Inside strike there. Smart take from Stevens.
So wait for his pitch. And Heflin finds the zone there.
Able to drop it in. And now after getting out 3-0, settling in, full count.
And he gets Stevens swinging. Great comeback there from Heflin. Down 3-0.
But another challenging opponent coming up, Mark Rutherford, the powerful catcher from the Comets. Rutherford, 10 RBIs on the season and a .538 on-base percentage.
Rutherford watches strike 1 on the low fastball. That pitch outside as Booth was looking back at third.
And check swing from Rutherford.
One count. Heflin's pitch is high.
Looked like right there, was looking for the curveball to drop down, just didn't get enough movement, stayed out of the zone. And Rutherford gets ahead of the count.
Hitters count as Rutherford does his job there. Ropes it into center field. A diving effort. And McCullough can't fall underneath it. Rutherford, he's heading for third. Showing off his speed there. Hanley easily makes it home. And 2 triples this inning for the Comets.
And the wheels on the bus were moving right there. 2 triples on the inning. Rutherford does exactly what he needs to. He gets the ball in the air. It's a tough play in center field. And McCullough can't get there. Comets have some juice now.
So Casey Donor will step into the box for the Comets. 1 out on the board. And that extra run going to add some insurance to the Comets' lead as Heflin delivers that one. Low and outside. One 0 count. Donor puts it in the air. And that one will fly into the away bullpen.
Donor had a sacrifice hit in the first inning. RBI that brought in Hanley.
Nice curveball there. Taking some notes from Jake Hanley's playbook there. One 2 count, and he catches Donor swinging for the second out of the third.
And right there, Heflin got ahead of the count on Donor. Was able to work his magic there. Struggled with that earlier in the inning. Rutherford able to get that big triple.
Anthony Sulik up to bat now as he hits that one up the middle. for a Comets single. Rutherford will make his way home. 5-2 Comet lead.
Yep, and Sulik, no hesitation there. Didn't stop to take the first pitch with a new pitcher. Rips it up the center line. Now Comets with a 3-run lead. They've taken back momentum.
And it's the junior Hutch Crociata up to the bat. Had a bunt single in his first at-bat and made it all the way around for the first Comets run of the night as he watches strike one. Heflin checks back at first, and Sulik is on his way to second, rounding the base over to third now. He's down and he's safe.
Not one, but 2 bags picked up there. And it's, again, it's a throw off the mark in the field. 3rd error for the Crusaders today, and we're in just inning number 3.
Yeah, in a game, just the caliber, this level of talent, this level of implications, cannot make those mistakes.
Now Crociata has a man at third.
As he pops that one up on the ground, and he's retired at first. Comets tack on 2 more runs here in the bottom of the third, extending their lead to 3. 7 hits for the Comets, 3 hits for the Crusaders. And we'll be with you for the top of the 4th here on Mason Sports Radio. Big third inning for the Comets as they've extended their lead to 3 runs. The Crusaders looking to bounce back with the senior outfielder Forrest Day to take the plate.
Day, first at bat in the second inning, struck out looking. Now rematch with Hanley, who had a stand-up triple at the plate last inning.
It'll be interesting to see how long Coach Bly, Coach Heifel, decide to keep Hanley in the game. Has a pretty high pitch count for just being in 3 innings. So,
yep, third inning took a lot out of Hanley.
That one ripped into right center as Day, rounding first, will make his way to third. As he gets there for a triple. 3 triples tonight so far. And again, this is a deep fence here at Prasco Park. That makes...
Yep, a deep fence, a deep backstop. And we're seeing plays on the field because of it, having to adapt to the environment here. They played the Big East tournament, the Cincinnati Spikes in the summer.
Saw UC and Xavier battle in and out a week ago here at Prasco. Miami and Wright State as well. Some big-time baseball's played here at Prasco Park, including the matchup that all of Ohio's been waiting for in Mason and Moeller. Papano, watches ball 1.
And we've talked about some of these top recruits on both sides, and Papano definitely one of them. The number 2 recruit in the class of 2025 headed to Ole Miss. isn't able to get contact on the fastball from Hanley. But Papano and his teammate Zion Theophilus, the two top recruits in Ohio for their junior class.
Hanley catches him swinging there on the third pitch, and we've seen Papano struggle a bit tonight. Struck out looking last at bat and had an infield fly ball to the shortstop in the second. That one grounded to Kelly, and he takes his time and retires him at first.
Yep, and the sacrifice there as Day just jogs in.
Javon Love scored the first Crusader run last inning. Is that one over the head of Rutherford? He's unable to catch the speed there, but that one is definitely in the high 90s.
Yeah, Hanley, so dangerous with his fastballs. We talked about it as he pushes up into the higher velocity. The control goes down a bit. And that's the trade-off you take. Evens the count.
Delivers on the 1-1. That one hit right to Hanley, and he will safely get it to Nate Derrick for out number 2.
And Hanley's second time we've seen that 1-3 play tonight. Last time was against Papano in the second inning in those long strides. Make Hanley, not only is he difficult to hit against, but he's a great fielder from the pitcher position, and he's able to convert that to first base pretty well.
A lot of scouts in the building or in the facility here. I saw a Chicago Cubs scout, and the whole press row underneath the press box is filling over with the amount of talent here tonight.
Yeah, I bet if we went up there and asked her, say, hey, who are you most excited to see today, we'd probably get 5 different answers.
Yeah.
A lot of talent on the field.
And probably a little bit of disappointment they didn't get to see Zion Theophilus. That would have been one heck of a duel on the mound.
Yeah, Theophilus, the #1 recruit in Ohio for his class, headed to LSU, who won a national championship not too long ago. Paul Skeens, Dylan Cruz.
Hanley fires it in there for strike 2. And Booth hits it to Sulik, and Sulik makes it look easy. 3 up, 3 down for the Crusaders as the Comets bats will be moving here in the bottom of the 4th. Stay tuned. Bottom of the fourth, Drew Johnson up to bat for the Comets. Ty Heflin still in the game for the Crusaders as he fires in strike one.
Yep, and Heflin had a difficult start in the third inning. Hanley had a stand-up triple and then was driven in by Rutherford with a triple.
That one just low. One pitch, high and inside.
Johnson, a double at his last at-bat, was in a 3-1 count, had an inside pitch he liked, and sent it into left field.
Another inside pitch there as that one's grounded to second. And Valencic takes care of him for the first out. Brad Hart stepping into the box now in the 9 hole.
Hart, first at bat in the second inning, had a sacrifice bunt. When he advanced Johnson to third, who ended up being thrown out.
Catches Hart swinging for strike two.
Heflin in the best position he's been in all game long.
Fires that one in for strike three.
3 pitches, 3 strikes, and that's tough for Hart to watch it go by. Now the Comets are back to the top of the lineup. And Alex Kelling scored in the first inning. Got back up to the plate in the second and had a sacrifice. Potential RBI taken out by Javon Love's throw from left field.
Kelling sits on pitch one. Gets a piece there.
If they're on the foul, doesn't quite drive through. Evens the count.
That pitch high and out of the glove of Booth. Andrew, we were talking at the break. It does not feel like we're watching a high school baseball game right now. It's almost like a college game with the caliber of talent, the atmosphere. Really cool event to be a part of.
Yeah, Prasco, facilities-wise, nicer than a lot of big-time college baseball teams and more fans here than even a lot of college baseball games. So it's a great environment. Top 2 teams in Ohio. And we kind of expected a pitcher's duel, but we've seen a lot of runs put up already.
2-2 count for Kelling as he watches ball 3 in the dirt.
Great eye there to set it to a full count. Heflin will have to test Kelling.
Full count as Kelling will make his way to first. That brings up the power hitter, Jake Hanley. We saw him rip one into right field his last at-bat. And Andrew, a very lefty-heavy lineup for the Comets.
Yeah, and with Klosterman and now Heflin get to take advantage of the right-handed pitchers. And Hanley, remember, he was the one last inning in Heflin's first at-bat who welcomed him with a stand-up triple. After the walk, Heflin might be in trouble.
That one in the dirt, and Kelling will slide into second safely.
But Kelling with his jump, I think he thought he was safe, didn't quite have the full sprint there, had to turn on the jets at the end to get the slide, but able to advance.
And they're going to intentionally walk Hanley.
An intentional walk in the 4th inning. You don't see that too often. I mean, that's how you know he's a big-time player. And 2 outs.
That has to hurt the confidence of Heflin a little bit. We've got 2 outs down, and
even Stevens, who struck out his first 2 appearances, has the chance to redeem himself here.
Grounds that one to third. And he's safe. And Ponatoski is shocked. And Andrew, I'm not sure why Ponatoski didn't just send that one to first for the force out.
Yeah, and right there, had a force at any bag, had to step off third base just a little bit, and it is a close call. But Ponatoski, not sure he had enough.
And I think the infield umpire is saying that Ponatoski missed the bag.
Missed the bag.
Because I see a cleat mark right in front of
even if he had hit the bag, I'm not sure it would have been in time. Kelling had a great jump.
Coach Held's not happy with that call, but I agree with the umps. But again, Ponatoski had all of his momentum moving forward. Not sure. Just send it to first.
Needed the urgency there, yeah, to go up, to step up, pick up the grounder, and then move back to third with one of the better base runners on this Comets team. Alex Kelling headed to third. You know, it's not always the safe play to go there. And then Drew Stevens, he's a fast player as well. Don't have the luxury of throwing it back to first. Had to make a decision. And unfortunately for Ponatoski, he makes the wrong one, and it's a full count with Mark Rutherford up to the plate.
Bases loaded with 2 outs. Big time position for Mark Rutherford. As first pitch, a ball.
Close on the zone.
Heflin delivers that one low, and a nice stop there from Booth.
Yeah,
could have been a dangerous
a lot of
ball.
pass balls, but he's getting better as the game progresses.
2-0 count for Rutherford. Another acrobatic save there from Booth. I'm surprised we didn't see him try to block it. Kind of a risky play, but he's able to scoop it up.
Yeah, and Rutherford bumped out of the way. Was potentially going to get hit right there. Would have been an automatic run with a full
3-0 count for Rutherford. And hits it to second. And retired at first. For out number 3. Comets leave 3 base runners on in the 4th. And we'll head into the top of the 5th with 2 on the Moeller Crusaders. Make sure you stay tuned for the final 3 innings here on Mason Sports Radio. Top of the 5th for the Crusaders, and a pitching change for Mason. It's a family affair on the mound as Ben Hanley, brother of Jake Hanley, will take the mound. And a couple of substitutions on the infield as Derek checks out and Hanley will move back to first, his typical home position. As Hanley.
Yeah, but Jake Hanley, and 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 runs.
Hanley goes back-to-back with the slider, can't get a second to fall. One count. That one just high. And Andrew, about 8 o'clock now, and not one open seat here at Prasco Park. It is a packed house.
You know, it's what you'd expect. Not only are we in Mason's backyard, so obviously the Comet fans going to show out, but Moeller, a lot of fans, and then just teams around, teams in general.
McCall with the ground ball to Kelling, and he's retired at first.
Cole's speed made that one a closer play at first than it probably should have. Valenzik now up. It's grounded out twice.
Fastball right down the middle for strike one. And strike two called theirs. Little Hanley, as he's known as, although it's not so little. Has Valenzik down 0-2. That pitch outside.
Yeah, both Hanleys are tremendous threats on the mound.
And he gets Valenzik swinging for out number 2. And Ben Hanley, he's been fun to watch this year.
It was the lone freshman on varsity last year, played primarily as a reliever, and now we're starting to see him get more and more reps.
It's Ponatoski up to bat now for the Crusaders. That pitch inside. Ponatoski rips it into right field, and that one is gone. Ponatoski takes it out of Prasco Park for the first home run of the night.
The distance on that one, just wow. Ponatoski proving why he's the #1 recruit in his class, going up against one of the top pitchers in the class. Ben Hanley sends that one into the stratosphere, and Moeller only trailing by 1.
That was an absolute moonshot. And that fence in right center, 380, but he cleared it by a mile. And he might have gotten 400 on that bad boy.
Yeah, that was a ridiculous hit. Now Ben Hanley, the sophomore, going to face his biggest test of the season. You know, how does he respond to that play?
Good pitch there. Can't get the call.
You know, unfortunately, it doesn't get easier with Christensen and Cuozo. A similar pitch, but this time a called strike.
So 1-1 count for Hanley. Still 2 outs. And he catches Christensen swinging on the curveball there.
But that's Hanley's bread and butter, is the swing and the miss. Had 7 strikeouts at Fairfield just a little over a week ago. Went 5 innings in that game.
Two strikes for Hanley. And Christensen stays alive. One-two count. Hanley delivers. That one grounded to short. Fielded cleanly by Sulik. And just like always, Sulik, perfect form. As he retires Christensen for out number 3. Comets lead by 1 and headed into the bottom of the 5th. Casey Donor up to bat for Mason to lead off the bottom of the 5th. Ty Heflin still on the mound for the Crusaders and gets Donor on the helmet.
We've seen some control issues from both Crusader pitchers. And right there we get our first contact. And Heflin will have to shake that one off. With Sulik coming up to the plate. And Sulik made a great play at shortstop to end the top of the 5th.
First pitch to Sulik shows bunt, but pulls back for ball 1. Sulik lays it down right into the glove of Booth, but dropped at first base from Kuzo.
Yeah, and that throw from Booth skipped to Cuozo, and that was enough time for the speedy Sulik to get to first base. And a routine bunt play, should have been a sacrifice. Moving Donor to second, ends up, and Heflin, you have to feel for him there.
Yeah, and we'll see if they register that one as an error. If so, that'd be the 4th error by the Crusaders tonight. And it looks like they're going to just call it a hit. Hutch Koshiata up to bat now. He shows bunt, but can't get a piece of it.
Cruciata scored in the 2nd inning. Had a similar bunt single that we just saw. Was able to get it all the way around the bag. He's got a man in scoring position now.
Ponatoski playing angled at the corner. Cruciata rips that one down the third baseline, foul.
O2 spot. Heflin in position to pick up some momentum.
Cruciata tad early on that pitch. Fouled down the first base.
Right there, not his pitch, but had to take a swing, stay alive.
Cruciata, this is one of his first starts for the Comets this year, but very composed for such a big game. And he catches him on the curveball. Nice pitch there from Heflin.
If that off speed catches just the way he wanted Cruciata with the late reaction. Looked like it was going to be high, then comes down right into the middle of the zone. Can't react in time.
Drew Johnson up to the plate now. Scored 1 run tonight. Fouls that one in the net.
That ball looked like it was coming straight for us behind home plate. And Johnson has been playing from ahead on his past 2 at-bats, a 3-1 count and a 2-1 count on his final swings the past 2 times, but now gets behind 0-1.
Johnson calls time. This game living up to all the hype. As Heflin steps off the mound for another time. Oh, 1 count. And Donor is going to be caught in a pickle. Tagged out.
And base running mistake. And costly for the Comets. So now 2 outs. He went from a man in scoring position to 2 outs and a 1-1 count.
Crusaders lucked out there. Booth's throw high. But a nice play from Christensen to keep it in play.
You'd have to wonder if Donor had committed to getting back to the bag, if that high throw would have been enough to get him back safely on base.
1-1 count for Johnson. 2 outs now. That pitch high.
And Adam, no doubt, if this game continues to be close into the next 2 innings, that out on the base path is going to be looked at as a key moment.
Beautiful slider there from Heflin.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Man on first.
Johnson gets a piece of it, but on the left side of the chalk.
It's just foul. And Sulik at first has a lot of speed. Johnson, we saw him hit a double earlier. If this one gets out in the outfield, Sulik might have the green light to go home.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Big time moment for Johnson. Time called by the official.
That pitch likely would have been a ball.
Heflin steps in the dirt. Sulik safely makes it to second.
Sulik had the jump he wanted. And Booth a little bit of trouble recovering it, but didn't make much of a difference. Sulik would have been safe, whether the throw was made or not.
Three-two count, and Johnson watches strike 3 as Heflin escapes with a scoreless 5th inning. 5-4 the Comet lead. 2 innings left to play here at Prasco Park. Connor Kuzo up to bat to get things going for the Crusaders. Ben Hanley back on the mound after a strong first inning.
That off speed gets away from him. And last few innings, Moeller slowly creeping back into this game.
Yeah, Moeller riding high off the momentum of Matt Ponatoski's home run last inning.
Home plate umpire defers to the first base judge. It's ball number 2.
That one in the dirt. 3-0 count for Kuzo.
Hanley gets his pitch. Hitters count still for Kuzo. Struck out swinging in the 3rd.
Strike 2 called on the outside.
Now Hanley climbs back from down 3-0.
Full count. Hanley gets Kuzo on the back, and he's hyped up about that one.
And now both we saw hit by pitch open up the bottom of the 5th. Donor got hit by Heflin, and then now Hanley gets Kuzo to open the 6th. And Hanley had a great 5th inning, except for one pitch with a home run from Ponatoski. And now, just to get his bearings straight.
I believe we have a pinch runner in for Kuzo. Can't see the number, though. Forced day up to bat for Moeller. Day shows bunt. Foul tip for strike.
It's Will Shermer, the junior, at first base.
So keep an eye on him at first.
Shermer, 5 stolen bases this year as Hanley throws back.
That brother-to-brother connection. From the backyard to Prasco Park. Day shows bunt again.
Rutherford eyes him all the way back to first base. Shermer has appeared in now 9 games this year and has just 3 plate appearances, has 3 at-bats. He's been their go-to pinch runner.
Two-one count now for Day.
Floated that pitch in. Runner on first in the back of Ben Hanley's mind.
Strike 2 for Hanley. And Andrew, we mentioned this is a free but hot ticket event. And I've seen not only Mason and Moeller gear, but Princeton gear, Kings gear. People from all over Cincinnati coming to watch this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Who wouldn't want to come see the reigning state champs?
Hanley back to first again. No outs on the board for the Crusaders. So they've got the momentum right now. Hanley gets him on strike 3. Way to battle back from the sophomore. And you would not know by looking at him. Ben Hanley so fit, so poised as a young star.
Yep, and had those reps last year. Coming out of the bullpen, has seen more innings this year already, and is making the most of it. You know, and that fastball, tough to hit.
Hanley back to first again. Shermer squirming around at first.
It comes back, it's an even bigger leadoff.
Rutherford to second, and they get Shermer. What a throw from Mark Rutherford.
Yep, and Shermer had a great leadoff, but Rutherford popped up so quickly out of his stance. He had left plenty of time for Suluk to make the tag.
That was perfect pitch placement. Wasn't a pitch out, but a high and inside ball right in Rutherford's frame as he ripped it to first for a huge Comet out. As Luke Papano up to bat now for the Crusaders.
The Ole Miss commit now trying to dig Moeller out of the 2-out hole.
2-0 count for him. And that'll be 3-0.
And Ben Hanley thankful for Rutherford throwing the runner out just a few moments ago. Otherwise, right there, we would have seen an advance to third.
Delivers for strike one. Three-one count. Another fastball for Hanley. Pins that one on the outside corner.
Now Ben Hanley has Papano where he wants him.
Full count with 2 outs. Big time pitch here. Just outside. And Papano will trot to first.
And Javon Love was the first run for Moeller in the third inning. Walked, had a stolen base, and then made it all the way around.
Rutherford able to save that pitch as it's outside. Love gets a piece of the curveball.
Ben Hanley, tough open to this inning with the hit by pitch on the full count, but battling back.
1-1 for the sophomore. As Love rips that one into left field. Cruciata can't make the grab as Hart falls on top of it. A runner comes in for Moeller, over to third, and the Comets get Love. So runner scores as Papano is able to make his way in. And we've got a tie ball game, folks. 5-5 headed into the bottom of the sixth. This matchup living up to all of the hype. We'll be back with you for the action here on Mason Sports Radio. Grant O'Connor in the game for the Comets, the sophomore pinch hitter.
Been a big moment for him.
First pitch inside.
And Heflin still in the game. He came in the third, gave up 2 runs, 3 hits, but since then has been stellar. Just 1 hit, no runs allowed.
Drops that one in. Heflin, number 2 pitch is a slider.
Grant O'Connor appeared in 3 games as a pinch hitter, just 3 at-bats. But 2 hits, including a double in those 3 at-bats.
That one almost gets his wrist, but he's able to get away from it. 2-1 count. Another inside pitch. You can start to see some frustration on O'Connor's face.
Yeah, but Heflin's come close to hitting him twice now.
He's trying to drop that slider on the inside corner. 3-1 now. O'Connor is able to get a piece of it and fouls it straight down.
And got aggressive there. That pitch inside would have been a close call.
I think it was a smart swing from O'Connor. Just a tad late on it. Full count. And O'Connor will trot to first base. And that'll bring up the top of the lineup for the Comets. The lefty Alex Kelling step to the plate, and a pinch runner coming in for O'Connor.
Yep, and O'Connor, great instincts. We saw that late pull on the check swing.
So Brad Hart checks out for O'Connor to hit and checks right back in to run. Runner on first, no outs for the Ohio State commit. Low pitch not called.
Hart staying pretty close to the first base bag.
Kelling with a hard swing there, but couldn't get a piece of it. As we get deeper in this game, Coach Bly, a little bit less aggressive, understandably less aggressive with his base runners. Outside strike called. Heflin delivers on 1-2. Kelling rips that to short. Moeller looking to turn 2, but can't get to first in time. So the Crusaders get 1. And that'll bring Jake Hanley standing tall at 6'6", 6'7".
And last time Hanley was at the plate, it was an intentional walk. The first time he was against Heflin, stand-up triple. At this stage in the game, probably can't go with the intentional walk, just 1 out.
Low pitch in the dirt from Heflin. And don't think we're going to see Heflin give Hanley any room to work with here.
Absolutely not. Hanley right near here has the luxury of being patient. Only needs to swing at his pitch.
That was his pitch as it's a dribbler to first. Hanley can't get there in time.
Got really, really close.
It was about a step too late. But admire the hustle.
Able to advance Kelling to second base. But 2 outs. Heflin looking to get out clean for the 3rd straight inning.
Steven hitless tonight. We saw him have a phenomenal game last Saturday here against Kings. Heflin drops in the slider.
Stevens consistently been taking the first pitch.
Strike 2 called. Kelly a late jump, but is able to get to third on the passed ball. Could be a costly mistake there.
The curve was a great throw, but Booth can't get underneath it. Kelly moves to third, and so Drew Stevens doesn't need much contact to give the Comets the lead back.
2 outs and 2 strikes. Drew Stevens, the Ashland commit, at the plate. And Heflin catches him swinging, and he's hyped up as the Crusaders hold the Comets scoreless in the 6th. 1 inning to go here at Prasco Park. Tie ball game 5-5 here on this beautiful Saturday night. Top of the 7th. Potentially the final inning of action here at Prasco Park. It's going to be Hanley Lopez pinch hitting for the Crusaders. The senior, Ben Hanley, still on the mound for the Comets, so it's been just the Hanley brothers tonight. First pitch grazes the outside corner for a strike.
The pinch runner, it's Hanley Lopez. He's headed to center.
Lopez fouls that one back. Hanley moving with some tempo on the mound. One-two count. And Hanley drops it in. Catches Lopez looking. One down here in the 7th, and that'll bring Will McCullough to the plate.
Yep, and strikeout number 3 for Ben Hanley now as he enters his 3rd inning of play. And at the top of the lineup,
gets McCullough swinging on the first pitch.
that's the start you want. You get the strikeout swinging, and then open up the next at-bat with a swing and a miss.
0-1 count as Hanley delivers. Foul tip from McCullough.
And high velocity on that throw.
Nearing 2 hours of gameplay here at Prasco and Andrew. I think they might be running low on ice cream.
I sure hope not, Adam, because we still haven't got our ice cream. So
again, wonderful facility here at Prasco Park. All the amenities as Hanley gets McCullough looking on strike 3. 2 down for the Crusaders here in the top of the 5th.
and Hanley's starting to feel it. Just like Adam, you just said you're starting to feel the cold. No ice cream for you.
Charlie Valentic, the junior second baseman, will step up to the plate. First pitch fouled off.
0 for 3 today. Struck out on his last at bat. Grounded out in the first and third innings. Valentic.
Low fastball. Hanley won't get the call.
And that right there has been the pitch for both Hanley brothers. That's been, it's been the deciding factor in most at bats.
That one ripped into right field, and Donor falls underneath it. 3 down for the Crusaders in the top of the 7th. Potentially the final half inning of play. Comets, all they need is one to take down the defending state champs. 5-5 the score at Prasco Park. Make sure you tune in for the final thrilling inning. We couldn't have asked for a better night of baseball here at Prasco Park, but it just keeps getting better. Zion Theopolis, the premier pitcher in Ohio, taking the mound for the Crusaders.
Yeah, and we've mentioned him a couple times tonight, almost like he's the boogeyman. And with the way the crowd reacted when he entered the game, you'd think just that. Theopolis, LSU commit, the #1 recruit in the class of 2025, hit 97 miles per hour on Monday in a complete game shutout against Elder. He is a dangerous, dangerous guy on the mound.
Rutherford in the box as he fouls his first pitch off.
And Rutherford right there wanting to test the speed of Theopolis. And Coach Tim Held, who's been doing this for over 15 years, said he's never had a Moeller player hit 96 miles per hour. Well, Monday, Theopolis hit 97. Fastest velo in school history. And they're excited about what he can do for them.
Oh, 1 count. That pitch inside. As Rutherford stays disciplined on the changeup.
Yeah, but we know Theopolis has the stuff to make this a quick inning, all right, but it's going to come down to the control. It's his first inning. How will he do?
Rutherford, a shot down the right field line, but it goes foul. And a huge sigh of relief from Theopolis.
That would have been, what a way to end that game would have been. Just a few milliseconds off on the swing. And Rutherford having to collect himself now.
1-2 count. Theopolis, the pitch. Out of the glove of Booth.
And again, he's just now checking in, pitched a complete game, 7 innings, 70 pitches on Monday. The control is the ultimate question for Theopolis.
2-2 count, he delivers, and gets Rutherford swinging. One down as Casey Donor will take the plate for the Comets. And Rutherford giving some advice to both Donor and Sulik in the box.
Yeah, 3 seniors getting a matchup with Theopolis. A lot of experience between those guys.
First pitch. A missile down the middle for strike 1.
Yeah, Theopolis, both appearances now, testing the batter right away with a fastball down the middle on his first pitch, and it's gotten him ahead.
Pitch 2 is high, and he threw it so hard his hat flew off.
Yeah, almost exclusively throwing gas off the mound. Would like to see some off speed sprinkled in.
1-1 count. Donor puts that one in the air into the Moeller dugout. Comets luck out there as Booth couldn't get control of it.
Been high stakes there. Booth, as well as first baseman running there. Picking up the out. Would have set the Crusaders in a fantastic spot. Instead, Donor stays alive.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The LSU commit delivers, and Donor stays alive.
Casey Donor doing a good job just getting contact, back-to-back foul balls. Just chipping away at Theopolis.
Steps and delivers that one on the ground for ball 2.
And that's the second time now we've seen Theopolis miss on a fastball and then hit the ground and bounce wildly. If the Comets can get somebody on base, it's a chance to pick up 1 or 2 bags on a wild pitch. But it's about getting there first. 2-2 count.
Donor staying alive.
Stadium about jumped their feet when that contact was made from Donor.
Theopolis steps off the rubber. Two count. Low and outside. Full count for Donor. The most important at-bat in his high school career against the #1 pitcher in the state, going to the #1 school in the country. Full count. And Donor's headed to first.
And cannot overstate how important that pickup was. Donor, he's a threat on the base paths. And And we've seen a couple times some wild pitches from Theopolis. Now, instead of those, amounting to nothing, that's an extra base or two. 1 out. You've got Anthony Sulik coming up to the bat.
And it was going to be very interesting to see if Coach Bly, what he decides to do with Donor at first. Donor a big lead as Sulik watches strike one.
Once again, Theopolis drops it in the zone with the first pitch, getting ahead. Donor with a modest lead at first.
And Sulik rips it into left field for a single. 2 men on for the Comets, 1 out.
Yep, and conservative base running, but you got to keep him alive. Sulik drives Donor to second. You got a man in scoring position. And Hutch Crociata, in just his 3rd start of the season, has a chance to win it in 7 innings against the reigning state champions.
So I've got to think his heart's beating a million miles an hour right now.
Yeah, but it's a vote of confidence from Coach Bly to keep the junior, who doesn't have a lot of experience under his belt, in the game and not get a pinch hitter in there. Crociata's already scored today.
Strike called on the inside fastball.
Yep, and a good take there from Crociata, but Theopolis minds the corner.
Oh, 1 count.
Donor's jumpy at second.
Crociata gets a piece of it. Down 2.
And now here's where we get to see Theopolis test out his arm in the 0-2 spot. Can throw pretty much anything here.
And I think it's got to be the fastball going up against
and that's
the
definitely
junior.
what Crociata is expecting. Does Theopolis opt for the off speed to try to catch him off guard, or just push the...
Goes for the off speed. Crociata to short. And he's safe! Base is loaded for the Comets, 1 out. And Crociata keeps the Comets alive.
And what a play. And you could sense Casey Donor and Coach Bly's decision there, whether to send Donor or not with that play. It will register as an error. Bases loaded, 1 out for Theopolis.
And the entire Mason crowd is on their feet. The bench is going crazy.
And Drew Johnson, the designated hitter today, with the most important at-bat of his career. Johnson, double in the 2nd inning, struck out looking in the 5th, lined out in the 4th. And Adam, most intense moment of the game between the top 2 teams in the state. Any guess what song's playing here at Prasco Park?
Baby Shark.
Baby Shark.
Not only the most intense moment of the game, the most intense moment of the season. Bases loaded, 1 out, as the junior Drew Johnson takes the plate. First pitch, straight heat down the middle.
Yeah, we had Baby Shark playing, and we might as well have the Jaws theme playing. The amount of intensity. You can hear a pin drop in this stadium.
Johnson calls time.
And Comets amping up the energy in their dugout.
Strike 2, Johnson. Can't get a piece of it.
And the fastball there, just unhittable. Johnson was anticipating the heat and still missed.
0-2 count. Theopolis, the pitch. And he catches Johnson swinging. 2 down for the Comets. The number 9 hitter, Brad Hart, will step into the box, the center fielder.
And Hart got subbed out. Last inning, a pinch hitter was Grant O'Connor, came back in to pinch run, and now here, bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th against the best pitcher.
Hart gets a piece.
That pitch
0-1
outside.
count. Another time called by Theopolis. Nine hits so far tonight for the Comets. As Theopolis, the pitch. No call.
And that one gonna be contested for sure on the Crusader side. Evens the count just inside near Brad Hart's torso.
1-1 count. Swing and a miss from Hart. 1-2 count. 2 outs. This pitch would leave 3 Mason runners on and send us to extras. But a hit from Hart would seal the deal and give the Comets the victory. The pitch. Hart stays alive. One-two count, 2 outs. Theopolis delivers. And he catches Hart on the curveball. And ladies and gents, we're headed to extras here at Prasco Park. 5-5. Theopolis stays strong. As the Comets leave 3 runners on, headed into the top of the 8th. Top of the 8th. Michael Belo now in the game for the Comets. The George Mason commit. And in the box for Moeller. You couldn't ask for anybody better. It'll be Matt Ponatoski. We saw him hit the moonshot home run over the right field fence earlier this game.
Yep. Belo, first team All-GMC pitcher last year, has 18 strikeouts in 14 innings this year.
First pitch called strike.
And Adam, like you said, Belo, George Mason signee. That one way inside. Evens the count. And Michael Below, 2 wins on the season, as well as a save.
Ponatoski gets a piece of it, but pulled in by Rutherford for strike 2.
Yeah, Ponatoski, 3 for 3, including 2 RBIs.
And Below gets him swinging on pitch number 4. 1 down for the Crusaders.
But Below gets the seemingly impossible task out. Get Ponatoski off the field.
But it doesn't get any easier.
Nope, you're going right into the heart of this Crusader lineup. Carter Christensen, the Ohio State commit, the junior. And then Kuzo on deck.
First pitch high, ball 1.
Gets the off speed to go there.
1-1 count for Below. Low strike called for number 2. The pitch. Just outside. Coach Bly not happy about that call.
Yeah, and I've said it several times, but that low outside pitch, it's been a favorite of the Comets, and it's been the most contested call all night.
2-2, and he gets Christensen swinging. 2 batters and 2 strikeouts for the senior.
And Michael Below coming out strong against the toughest middle lineup in the state. And 1 more left in the gauntlet. It's Kuzo.
Strike 1 on the first pitch. Below goes right back at him for number 2. 0-2 count, 2 outs. Below looking to seal the top of the 8th. And he does just that. 3 strikeouts in the 8th inning for Michael Below. And he's greeted by the entire Mason bench as he makes light work of the Moeller heavy-duty lineup. Comets will be at the top of the lineup. The Ohio State commit, Alex Kelling, will lead things off for the Comets after the break. Bottom of the 8th, top of the lineup. In Kelling will step into the box for Mason. Zion Theopolis, the junior sensation, still on the mound for the Crusaders as he kept the Comets scoreless in the 7th.
Yep, Ohio State versus LSU, the Joe Burrow at bat right here.
First pitch inside from Theopolis. 9 hits so far from the Comets, but the glaring number on that scoreboard is those 4 errors from the Crusaders.
Including one last inning that nearly cost win this game.
Kelling pops it up as it sails into the Comets stands. One count for Kelling. As he drives that one into right field for a single. Alex Kelling getting the bats moving.
Yeah, but Kelling makes a safe decision to stay at first, but absolutely ripped that ball. And you have to hit it hard when you're going against a pitcher with the velocity of Theopolis, but no fear in his eyes. And now we get the matchup I've been waiting for. I don't know about you, Adam. Zion Theopolis versus Jake Hanley. Hanley, the top hitting prospect in the class of 2024. Theopolis, the top pitcher in the class of 25. And a chance to end it right here.
The long-time debate of hitting versus pitching. We'll see which one takes the throne in this at-bat.
And Coach Bly, in our pregame interview, did say good pitching typically beats out good hitting, but the pitching's got to be consistent. That's been the question for Theopolis today.
Hanley gets up 2-0 early.
And we haven't seen Theopolis in this situation in either inning yet. He's always had a strike on one of those first two pitches. Hanley playing from ahead. We'll see how he does.
Hanley watches strike one. Hanley puts it in the air. And a huge sigh of relief from Comet fans as it just goes over the net.
Yeah, and that ball would not stop rising.
Booth couldn't get a hold of it. 2-2 now. And that was Hanley's pitch.
We talked about all the scouts that were here, and they couldn't have asked for a better battle.
All the cameras are out right now recording. 2-2, Theopolis versus Hanley. And he gets Hanley swinging.
And so the toughest test on paper, Theopolis has passed, but he's not done yet. Drew Stevens, the Ashland commit, is the Comets' leader in batting average entering this game.
0 for 4 tonight, very uncharacteristic of Stevens.
Yeah, 3 strikeouts.
And Theopolis catches him swinging on the first pitch.
And Drew Stevens, he's an aggressive batter, and it's paid off well for him this season. Paid off well last week against Kings at this very park.
0-1 count for Stevens. Outside fastball called for a strike.
A close call there.
That'll give Theopolis some wiggle room. Stevens gets a piece of it to third. And another error from Moeller. Kelling headed to third. And runners on the corners for the Comets.
I mean, what have we said all game? It's been the errors for Moeller. Uncharacteristic mistakes from the reigning state champions. This is not the standard that they hold themselves to. Coach Tim Held upset in the dugout. A chance for a double play to send this one to the 9th inning. Instead, sends Mark Rutherford up with runners on the corners, 1 out, and a chance to end it.
Moeller, almost as many hits as errors.
6 hits, 5 errors. You don't see that every day.
Rutherford gets a piece of the first pitch.
And Theopolis now has a chance to show why he's the #1 pitcher in the state for his class. Had the error. It wouldn't be an earned run if it comes in, but 2 batters can close it out and give his team another chance at the plate.
0-1 count for Rutherford. And Stevens will make his way over to second. after the ball from Theopolis. 1 out. Rutherford just needs to get it in the air, and a smart decision there by Coach Held. As it'll be an intentional walk to make a force out at every base. Casey Donor.
And Donor.
He's already faced Theopolis once.
Faced Theopolis last time and won a full count. Got a walk.
First pitch from Theopolis. Swing and a miss from Donor.
And I'm getting some deja vu. Loaded bases, 1 out. Theopolis got back-to-back strikeouts last inning. Can he pull it off again?
Kelling, Stevens, and Rutherford on all the bases. The pitch to Donor. Hits it up the middle. Fielded by Theopolis. He goes home. Gets the force out. So bases will remain loaded, but 2 down for the Crusaders.
And Anthony Sulik, the senior, now headed to the plate.
Theopolis, the first pitch. Gets Sulik swinging.
Theopolis, the velocity, just pushes it past Anthony Sulik.
Oh, 1 count. In the dirt. Booth's able to stop it.
Yeah, Booth gets in front of it, even in the count.
One count for Sulik. Theopolis delivers. Put in the air. And fielded by Ponatoski. Did he come up with it? And he does. That will do it for the 8th inning. Scary play for the Crusaders there. But Comets scoreless in the bottom of the 8th. And I guess one more inning wouldn't hurt, Andrew.
Why not? Let's go to 9.
Story of these last few innings, 13 total base runners left on for the Comets compared to 3 for Moeller, and that's just lethal, Andrew.
Yep, 13 runners left on base this whole game, 6 in the last 2 innings of extras.
Belo still on the mound, still face off against Forrest Day. And pitch 1, strike 1.
And Belo struck out the side last time.
And he gets Day with the curveball there. 0-2 count for the Georgia Mason commit. Day stays alive.
And Day scored a run in the 4th inning, but has had 2 strikeouts looking since.
That pitch high and outside for ball 2. Ball 1, excuse me. And he gets Day swinging on the off speed. 4 batters, 4 strikeouts for Michael Belo.
But now another tough test that just keeps coming in this Moeller lineup. Luke Papano, Ole Miss commit. Made his way around the bases in the 6th inning. Had an RBI sacrifice hit in the 4th.
And he looks at the inside strike on his first pitch. Gets a piece of the second.
Yep, clips it off Rutherford's gear.
Rutherford, a phenomenal game behind the plate so far tonight.
Yep, and with these difficult, deep Prasco
Oh, 2 count. That one in the dirt. Evens it up at 2.
Belo was looking low and inside, trying to scrape the corner of the plate.
And he gets Papano swinging. Belo is on fire right now.
Yeah, can't say enough about what Michael Belo is doing. 5 strikeouts swinging. Unreal.
Javon Love, he's been a weapon for Moeller tonight. Not only offensively, but defensively as well. He watches strike 1. Gets him swinging on strike 2. Can he make it 6?
Love has an RBI, a stolen base, and a run today, as well as a throwout that
Love stays alive.
And Love's play from left field earlier in this game, game-saving run. Now he's at the plate. Can he keep the Crusaders' hopes alive?
0-2 count. Check swing. Safe.
And a dramatic play there. Belo picks up ball 1.
Belo drops in the curveball, but no call.
Just at the top of over the top of the zone. Friendly calls there.
2's
Now
across
even.
the scoreboard. Belo the pitch. And he gets him on strike 3. 6 strikeouts for Michael Belo. What a job he's done out of the bullpen tonight.
Yeah, and we talked to Coach Bly, and he said we asked, is it a fair assumption to think this is going to be a pitching battle? He said we both feel great about our starters, but I also know both teams have deep bullpens, and that's exactly what we've seen tonight. Zion Theopolis, a starter, came in late, has done a great job, and Michael Belo, also traditionally a starter, has come in and been lights out.
5-5 headed into the bottom of the 9th. Stay tuned for the thrilling showdown between the top 2 teams in Ohio. Bottom of the ninth, in a surprising pitching change for Moeller. Zion Theopolis must be on a pitch count. Sam Skuglick, the Ashland baseball commit, checking in for the Crusaders on the mound.
Yep, and Theopolis only pitched 2 innings, but went deep on both of those, had a lot of pitches. He's pitched against 12 batters.
It'll be Hutch Crociata to start off the ninth for the Comets. And he watches strike one.
And Skuglick, 7.1 innings pitched so far, 12 strikeouts. He's given up just 2 runs. He's an experienced pitcher, the senior.
Crociata, 66.66% on base percentage today, and rips a dangerous ball to the Comets bench.
Crociata has been battle tested through and through today.
0-2 count. Skuglick delivers. That one high.
Crociata looking to fight back in the count.
Skuglick steps off the mound. He delivers. Inside. Crociata stays alive.
Nearly collides with Crociata there, just misses the junior. And now the catcher Booth with his 4th pitching partner of the night. They're going to take a meeting.
Yeah, Booth's had his work cut out for him tonight.
Yep, and it hasn't all been easy. Prasco's a difficult venue to play at as a catcher. Been a lot of passed balls.
2-2 count for Crociata. Skuglick delivers. And a patient at bat for Crociata.
Starts
full
off
count.
Starts off 0-2, now back to the full count. Great eye, been very patient, and just looking to get on base here.
Full count for the junior. The pitch. Outside, and Crociata's heading to first.
And that's what he needed to do, get on base, keep the Comets rolling. And Drew Johnson, another junior who's had a lot of tough tasks today, up to the plate, struck out in the 7th against Theopolis, had a double in the 2nd.
Keep an eye on Crociata at first. Skuglick pitches. The bunt from Johnson, fouled.
2 guys who are confident in their speed on the base paths with Crociata and Johnson.
And Andrew, we were talking about this at both the breaks, but we were a little surprised that we didn't see Coach Bly go for a squeeze bunt with the bases loaded and 1 out, at least 1 out of the 2 times. So Coach Bly likes to bunt a lot. So we'll see if Johnson does it again here as he steps out of the box.
Yeah, and some of that might have to do with the trust he has in those seniors that were up to the plate in the last inning. I'm trusting them to get the hits.
The 0-1 pitch for Johnson. Pulls back, strike. Crociata back to first. Lucks out from the wide throw by Booth.
Dangerous play. Crociata took his eye off the pitch. Step too far off, which with a bunt, you have to have a nice lead off. But a heads-up throw could have been disastrous for the Comets.
0-2 pitch. And he catches Johnson looking. The fastball on the outside corner. 1 down for the Comets. And Brad Hart will step up to the plate.
And Brad Hart, RBI in the 2nd. Struck out looking in the 7th inning with the bases loaded.
Ponatoski playing in the grass at 3rd. Hart pulls back, but a strike.
And once again, Crociata It's far off the bag.
0-1 pitch. Hart unsuccessful on that bunt attempt.
And in a hole, 0-2.
So he'll have to swing. Time called.
Skuglick very composed in the 9th inning.
Skuglick the pitch. And Hart stays alive.
And a good rip on that pitch. Hart keeping himself in the batter's box for another swing. And Alex Kelling on deck.
Hart, that one down the left field line, and Ponitowski can't pull in the catch. That one over his shoulder, and that would have been an unbelievable catch. He tried to take some notes from the Moeller receiver, Javon Love, but just couldn't pull it in.
Yeah, and had it, the ball reached his glove. It was a really impressive play from Ponitowski getting in there, but couldn't squeeze it all the way. It slipped out. And once again, Hart stays alive. The lefty, they're expecting the hit to go Ponitowski's way.
Ponitowski playing shallow, right in line with third base now. 0-2 pitch, high. And Booth's able to squeeze it. One-two, Crusaders on first. And Hart steps out of the box.
Brad Hart.
3 hours of gameplay now, Andrew.
Yeah, we're approaching MLB territory.
The 1-2 pitch. And Hart rips it to right field. Crusaders will stay at second. And a big-time hit from Brad Hart.
And Brad
has 2 runners on the base path now.
Brad Hart just stayed alive, stuck with it. 6 pitches there, had 3 foul balls, and finally gets his pitch, sends it into right field, and we're back at the top of the lineup. 2 runners on, just 1 out.
Coach Bly calling time, so he'll come to talk with the umps. And he's going to make a substitution. It'll be Tyler Dalton, the senior, coming in to pinch run for Crusaders.
Dalton, the senior, has a stolen base this season.
1 out for the Comets. Top of the lineup. See battle wounds from all the Comets players. Kelling's got rips in his pants.
And Alex Kelling scored. He opened up the game with the first run. He's been on base all 4 at bat, all 4 plate appearances.
Skuglick the pitch. Inside fastball is a strike.
And Kelling was awfully close to the plate there, so even though that was well inside, it's called strike.
The 0-1 pitch. Kelling puts it in the air. Hit towards center field. Fielded by McCullough. Dalton thought about going to second, but smartly stays. He's thought about going to third, but smartly stays at second.
Yeah, and going to third there would have almost certainly been an out until that off-target throw might have worked out for Dalton, but the smart play to stay at second. Kelling popped it up a little bit too much, and now Jake Hanley back in the game.
2 out. The Indiana commit steps into the box. The pitch. That one just high. Hanley lays off.
But Hanley struck out his last at bat, but scored his first 2 times around.
One runner in scoring position. And can't see on our main camera, but the Moeller outfield is playing so deep right now.
The Jake Hanley effect. He rocked one about 370.
1-0. Hanley watches strike one.
Then Hanley, maybe even more than Ponatoski, who we actually saw hit a home run in right center. It's the biggest threat to go yard in this game. Moeller taking that very seriously. Hanley's the only Comet with a home run this season.
Hanley gets a piece of the third pitch. 1-2 count.
This is where Skuglick wants to be ahead of the count on Jake Hanley.
Skuglick. 1-2, delivers. Hanley rips it to right field, but pulled in by the Crusaders. And the Moeller student section goes crazy. And Hanley thought he had the game there. 5-5 still the score as extras continue. Top of the 10th coming up next. Griffin Booth, the catcher, will lead things off in the 10th for the Moeller Crusaders. Michael Bilo on a hot streak right now. 6 batters faced and 6 strikeouts. And he'll start things off right in the 10th.
And Bilo, all he does is throw strikes. Opens it up here. I'll say it again. Just all the man does is throw strikes.
The 0-2 count. Booth hits it to the shortstop. Sulik to first. And Hanley can't scoop it. A little bit of confusion there from Stevens and Sulik. And
Sulik got there a little later than he was hoping. Still got the throw off, but can't connect with Hanley. Hanley, a tall guy. That throw was a little low. Couldn't scoop out the glove. And that's the first, the first error the Comets have. It's the first time Bilo's had a runner on base.
Dangerous hitter Will McCullough steps up to the plate. McCullough shows bunt, but fouls it off.
And Below in uncharted waters now, playing with a man on first, no outs. And we haven't seen Moeller with the opportunity to bunt. McCullough, their leadoff hitter, would love to advance a runner.
Oh, 1 for Below. McCullough shows bunt. Stevens playing up. Rutherford thought about going back to first.
And Booth, at first, no stolen bases this season, but playing right now with a healthy leadoff.
Below the pitch. McCullough shows bunt. Ooh, Comets don't get the strike call.
And not sure he pulled that bunt off in time, but
looked in the zone to me. Two 2-1 count for McCullough. First time Below's been down. 3-1 now the count.
And for the first time, Below's in danger. And the top of the lineup is coming. Valentic on deck, Ponatoski in the hole.
(3-1). McCullough the bunt, and it's foul. Hits the line.
And we've got some controversy on the first base path. Coach Held thinks it should have been fair.
And that one very close to the line. As Coach Held will try to plead his case.
I'm doing my best forensic skills here, watching our broadcast. You guys have a little bit of a delay. I'll give you my thoughts in just a second. But, from our angle, I think it did pass the line.
Full count now for Below. Runner on first, no outs. That one in the dirt. And Rutherford will call time, and he'll meet up with Below. Momentum shifting in Moeller's direction.
Yeah, and couldn't come at a better time, because look at who you've got coming up to the plate. Valentic, Ponatoski, Christensen. Three of the best hitters in the GCL. Rutherford calling out to the common infield.
Valentic, the bunt. Right to Below. And he gets it to first. The sacrifice bunt successful as he moves. Two runners into scoring position. One out on the board. Best case scenario for the Crusaders. And it's Matt Ponatoski up to the plate.
Ponatoski was 3 for 3 until he met Michael Below in the 8th inning and struck out swinging on 4 pitches.
And Coach Bly will intentionally walk Ponatoski. Bases loaded. Force out at any base. Carter Christensen will head to the plate.
And the Ohio State commit has to like the opportunity he's been handed.
That one hits a Kelling to second. And an error from the Comets. 2 runners score for Moeller.
And the Comets played clean baseball for 9 innings. And here in the 10th, 2 errors, 2 runs. The Comets on offense hadn't scored since the 3rd.
Crusaders take their first lead of the game. 1 out on the board and a runner on third. Michael Bilo still has not given up a hit. All 2 of those runs coming off errors. Can't get the inside strike called.
And all the momentum going the Crusaders' way now.
Good frame from Rutherford. Strike 1.
Michael Bilo now working to try to get out of a hole that he himself didn't get into.
That one fouled back from Kuzo.
2-2 count now. And yeah, errors. That's been the story of the game. 5 for the Crusaders and 2 for the Comets in the worst of times.
Kuzo calls time. Two count, 1 out. Runners on second and third. And Bilo gets him looking. 2 down.
He can breathe just a little bit now. The 3, 4, 5 of the order now gone. Forrest Day, the potentially last batter Bilo has to face.
Strike called on Day.
And Day, 3 strikeouts.
Oh, 1 count, Bilo delivers. That pitch inside. And he catches Day swinging on pitch 2. Scary play as Bilo lost control of Rutherford's throwback. 1-2 count, 2 outs. No strike called. Two now. Bilo delivers. And he catches Day swinging. The Crusaders tack on 2 runs in the top of the 10th. Comets have to get at least 2 to stay in this one and 3 to take it home in their backyard here at Prasco Park. Bottom of the 10th coming up next. Drew Stevens will lead things off for the Comets in what could be the final inning. Stevens hitless so far tonight, looking to change that as ball one called on the low pitch.
Stevens reached on an error in the 8th, had a stolen base that got him to second.
Watches ball too high. And we've surpassed 3 hours of gameplay here. And Drew Stevens staying patient. 3-0 count.
Stevens exactly where he needs to be. He's gotten behind early in at-bats earlier today.
Strike one called inside. Three one. And he squeezes in strike two. Full count now.
Skaglik fights back.
Skuglik the pitch. Drew Stevens rips it past the shortstop and gets his first hit of the night in the most important time.
Drew Stevens came up big last week at Prasco against the Kings Knights, including a triple, and right here in the 10th inning logs his first hit of the game and setting up what the Comets hope to be a 10th inning rally.
Rutherford will step up to the plate. He's had a phenomenal game defensively. Now, looking to shine offensively here in the 10th.
Rutherford had an RBI triple in the 3rd.
Strike one called on the outside corner. Oh, 1. That pitch outside. Skuglik, the pitch. That one in the zone.
And Rutherford late to commit to the swing. Just doesn't get anything.
1-2 count. Stevens dancing around at first. That one inside.
Rutherford trying to sell that it hit him. Ump doesn't buy it.
That pitch high.
Yeah, but near his head, and once again, Skuglik with a full count.
The 3-2 count. Rutherford pops it in the air. And it drops in left field. He pulled it in.
And the Crusaders have had multiple tough catches in the outfield and have made some incredible plays protecting their pitcher.
So Casey Donor up to the plate now. One man down. That an inside pitch. Called ball.
Check swing.
That one right down the middle. One. Donor hits it right to first base. Stevens is able to make his way to second. 2 outs now on the board. And it all comes down to Anthony Sulik.
And Sulik has been in some difficult spots in these last few innings. 7th, he got a single. Popped out to end the 8th inning, and now he's back.
Skuglick shakes off his first 2 pitches. Steps. And that one just high.
Sulik, 3 hits today, leading the Comets.
One 0 just outside. Two 0 for Sulik. That one popped up, but foul.
2-1 count now. Sulik, he's been reliable all game long. 3 for 4. Hitting 340, hitting 211 on the season with a 347 on base percentage.
2-1. Sulik down the right field line. It drops just foul. That would have been huge.
And that's twice now the Comets have had a liner down the right field line. Rutherford had one in the 7th that would have ended it, and right there Sulik had a chance to send Stevens home. And instead, 2-2-2 all up on the scoreboard.
Biggest pitch of the game coming from Skuglick. Number 2 up to the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, the pitch. And Sulik stays alive.
This entire stadium is on its feet right now. The Moeller student section hoping this is the final pitch of the game. But Anthony Sulik is fighting hard.
Skuglick. 2-2. That one on the ground to short. Sulik to first, and he's safe!
Anthony Sulik. What a play. Outruns the throw from short. And now runners on the corners for Hutch Crociata. Start number 3. And he's in the most important position of the game.
Runners on the corners, 1 in scoring position. Comets just looking to stay alive. And they need 2 runs to do that. First pitch low.
Crociata walked in the 9th to open it up. And a single in the 2nd.
1-0 for Crociata. Gets him on the check swing. One with 2 outs. Crociata tips that one back. 1-2 count for the junior. Skuglick. Hutch Crociata staying alive, and what a battle from the junior today so far, Andrew.
Yeah, Crociata, he's been at the plate 6 times now. Been on base twice. And Coach Bly has called on him time and time again, especially here in extras.
That one outside, and Sulik will make his way to second. 2-2 now. 2 runners in scoring position.
Hutch Crociata, situation just got quite a bit better for him.
Skuglick delivers. That one inside. Full count.
And it does not get any more intense than this. Full count. Runners in scoring position, 2 outs. in the 10th inning. Yes, you heard me right. The 10th inning.
3-2 count for the junior. Sam Skuglick. The pitch. Crociata to short. And he's retired. The Crusaders take it in 10 innings. What a battle this was.
And 10 long innings, over 3 hours here. And Moeller Crusaders, they pull it out. And, you never want to talk about errors in a game, but that's what it came down to. Moeller had 5. It gave the Comets some great opportunities early in the game to get ahead. And then Comets 2 critical errors in the 10th inning. Michael Bilo, he's going to get credited with the loss, but gave up no hits in his 3 innings pitching. And what a battle. And these two teams, they expect to see each other again. It's not just a chance. They expect to see each other in the postseason. And this is one of the best battles I've seen.
Yeah. Game of the year here in Cincinnati. And it will go to the defending state champions, the Moeller Crusaders. 7-5 the final score. Big shout out to our crew tonight. Alyssa Feinblatt directing, Alex Burnins behind the camera. I've been Adam Little, joined alongside my brother Andrew Little. Thank you for tuning in for this thrilling